Hello and welcome to part 7 of how to improve your marriage lines. And today it is a two-part section on special signs. So we are going to talk about special signs such as vertical lines, forks, and islands on the marriage line. So let's start with vertical lines. So the marriage line is this horizontal line coming from the edge of the hand. And right now we are looking at those vertical lines that are crossing it. Now, a lot of palmistry schools say that these vertical lines are children. And unfortunately, I like to make sure that it's always the case, and it's not. So a lot of people without children have these lines. So what do they mean? Basically, they mean that they are some circumstances, which are outside circumstances, that are putting pressure on the relationship. And of course, children would probably be one of these cases, but not only children. It can be maybe the in-laws. It can be a job. It can be the fact that the two people are living far from each other. It can be so many different things, but basically this is creating a conflict or different conflicts in a relationship, and the couple is going to argue. Now, I always say that you can change these lines, especially the marriage lines, because they are minor lines. You can change them at any time. So how to deal with those vertical lines? You have to, like in any relationship, communication and understanding. So communication, you have to express what you feel. And also, of course, you have to listen. And then understanding is being able to put yourself in the other person's shoes. So if you can do that, then the relationship will be better and the vertical lines will slowly disappear. Now let's look at our second special sign, and it is the fork. So we're first going to look at a fork where the ending of the line of fork. So it starts very straight and then it goes into a fork. Now, the fork will mean that at the beginning, everything is okay. You think that you and your partner are a very good match. But as it goes on, you realize that you might think differently on things. You might have different ideals. You might have different thoughts of how life should be. So you feel that you are going in two different directions. Now, this fork is, we are talking about you on your hands. If you have a fork like that, it means that the problem is with you. So what can you do about it? The same as what I mentioned before. You have to listen, to communicate, and to put yourself in the other person's shoes, because this is the way to see where your partner is as opposed to yours, and then to learn to live together and just accept each other the way you are. And if you have that, after a while, you change your attitude, and then the fork will probably disappear. Now, opposite of the fork that is starting straight and opening, you may have the line itself is starting, as you can see, it's starting with a fork, and then it joins, and then it continues straight. Now, this is actually a better case. It means that at the beginning, you may come from very different backgrounds. So it could be from two different countries, can be from two different religions. It can be from two different races. Or it can be also maybe one of you is very rich, the other one is very poor. So you have very different backgrounds, and you learn to actually understand each other. So this is not a bad sign to have. It just means at the beginning it might be difficult, but you will find a way. The last one we're going to cover today is the island. Now, the island anywhere on the hand is always a sign of confusion. Things are not clear. So whether it's on your hotline, on your headline, on your lifeline, for a while, things are not clear. When it is on the marriage line, it means that you don't understand what is going on. So we're talking about the fact it's on your hand, okay? So you have an island and you don't understand. So if you don't do the suggestion that I always say, communication, understanding, putting yourself in the other person's shoes, it might mean that there will be a breakup. And if there is a breakup, you won't understand why. You will be just there saying, how did this happen? How could we actually separate? I don't know, because it is an island. So if you have an island, what you need to do is get rid of the island. So do everything you can to let go of any problem that you have. Try to let go of the confusion. Try to be as clear as possible. Then the island will disappear and then the relationship will be good. So this concludes our first session on the special signs. So stay tuned for the second part on special sign, which will be also the last part of our series on how to improve your marriage line.